No, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But man, hold on. Let me remove this real quick. It's crazy that Power World came out. It was the hottest thing, right? It was just everybody was talking about Power World, Power World, Power World, and people were playing it. The player base was super high. Now you look at it nowadays, it had a significant amount of people have dropped off of Power World within like a month now. I think was it a month since the game came out? And it's amazing that companies are still trying to make these live service games. They're still trying to push to have that all-in-one revenue coming in from one game, and it's just not working out. Skull and Bones just came out. Player base was insignificant. Like there was no one there from the get-go. People played the beta, and it was like the early access demo or whatever it was, and they tried it out, and those people did not continue playing the game when it came out. So I don't understand why these companies are still trying to do this. They're trying to go for that Fortnite money, and it's just not working out. They need to focus on not big projects, not $300 million projects like with Spider-Man. They need to focus on more condensed games, smaller games, bite-sized games, games that aren't costly. They need to be more cost efficient with how they're making these games. Because even if you come out with a banger like Marvel Spider-Man, it's only going to keep people's attention for so long, and then they're going to move on to the next game, right? They didn't come out with the new game plus until later down the road. And even then, looking at certain outlets that did polls for are you going to pick up or go back to Marvel Spider-Man 2 to play the new game plus, it was like 15%, 20% in some of the polls that I saw on whether X or on personal websites by these different outlets. That's it, man. Like people, once they beat a game, they usually don't come back to it, especially when it's a single player game. There's really like nothing else there. You get all the trophies, and Marvel Spider-Man is one of those games that is really easy to get the trophies. You do the missions, you do the combos, you level up Spider-Man, bada bing, bada boom, you get the trophies. But man, I wish companies would go back to making smaller games, because you look at these games that are very costly and they take like 5 to 7 years or maybe three plus years. But it's not like back in the days where we had, let's say, Uncharted just constantly coming out. Uncharted 1, then 2 came out real quick, and then 3 came out. Or Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas. It was very consistent with the flow of games by certain developers, and we kept getting sequels and different iterations of the games, like Infamous 2, and we got Second Son on PS4. There wasn't a huge gap in between releases from what I remember. But nowadays, because companies are putting so much money into these established franchises, or they're not even taking, I can't even say, or new intellectual property. I can't even say that, because it's like with movies nowadays, they're just rehashing things from our memories. Like I hear there's going to be a remake or a remaster, or an of American Psycho. Like it's like Hollywood has ran out of ideas, and the gaming industry is just constantly being like, it's like member berries. It's like, you remember this? It's coming back. Even we see it with like remasters and remakes, but At least with Capcom, when they remake a game, they fully remake a game. You know, it's an entirely new experience. You know, better graphics. They even add some new areas, some new tech into the games, or we get like a good remaster, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2, which is the same game but remastered for the current generation of consoles and PC hardware and stuff like that. But it's just like, where are the new IPs? Where are the smaller, developed games that don't cost hundreds or millions of dollars? Where are these games? And companies, like, if they're going to take a risk with a live service, why not take a risk with a smaller experience? If the live service, if you're going to try to make a live service game, just try to budget it. Like, that's the problem. It's like they want to throw so much money at a problem to think that's going to be the solution for them, and then when the game comes out, it just flops. And it's just people aren't grasping to it because there are just other experiences that do it better, like Fortnite, like Fortnite, or even Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty's multiplayer to extent, So their battle royale. So I wish companies would just, because if they do that, if they say, okay, our projects, we're gonna cut back, we're not put too much money into this project. We're just gonna make a playable, somewhat enjoyable game and see if it's grasp an audience or what have you. And if you budget it out, that means people can keep their jobs. You don't have to lay people off. There you go. Like, even with these big projects, man, like they're just not. It's just not pulling in the audience. It's just not. I hear 300 million from Marvel Spider. I love Marvel Spider-Man. You know what I also love? I love that people can be able to go home, see their family, and say, "Hey, I made good money today." I made good money today. Hey, our game did well. Made good money. We're working on Wolverine. I like that. I like that. But now it's like, man, I don't know. Our game did well. Maybe I'll still have a job. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, even though it did well, I mean, it didn't. We didn't recuperate our costs on this game. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know. So you're always like worried now. Like, if I was a game developer or a programmer or script writer or whatever, I would be worried after the game comes out. Be like, okay, yeah, I made this game. I helped them make this game. Should I start looking for another company to work for? I don't even know how that works. Can you start applying for other jobs? Just in case, can you work two jobs in the video game industry? I don't know. Can you work for two different studios? I assume that when you're developing the game, it's like all heads on this project. All heads on deck. Like, everybody needs to be focused on making this game. There's no time in between to do other tasks and whatnot. To be working for another company. So I don't know. Well, it's just crazy that you know they sink so much money into these games, and they immediately lay people off. Like, just it's like, I forgot where I heard this before, but in comparison to gaming versus movies, is like, you know, it's $70 for a game, whereas it's like $7-10 to go watch a movie. And most movies, I'm assuming, don't cost like over 300 million dollars, right? There's a lot of movies that recuperate their money. So I don't know. I think we need to go back to the old PS2 and Xbox and GameCube days where it was just like people were just creating all different types of fun games. You remember Bionicle? Remember I played through a Bionicle? I enjoyed the hell out of that game. I played that on the GameCube. I think it also came out on PS2 and Xbox. That was a nice little bite-sized game. It was fun. It was a fun experience, and I still enjoyed it. Like not too long ago, what was it, last year? 2023 is when I started playing a bunch of GameCube games, and I was just like, man, these games are fun. I mean, they're short, yeah, 5, 6 hours, but I'm enjoying my time with it. They were nice little bite-sized experiences, and that's what I've been doing on my Steam Deck too. I've been looking at my games that I downloaded that are like indie developed games. I'm just like, oh wow, I beat this game in like 3 hours. This was fun. This was fun. Games don't need to be these long, overblown, drawn out experiences. They just need to be fun. You know, there are people out there that just, oh man, I just want to see graphics. I want to see amazing graphics. But I think I want to say the majority of the people, especially like you look at the Switch fan base, like those games don't look phenomenal. You know, they don't on my TV here, my 4K TV. You know, at 1080p. You know, they're scaled up to my TV. You know, from a little screen to a nice 40-inch TV, and they look good. They don't look like God of War Ragnarok, but they look good. And some games like Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Odyssey, because you know Nintendo and their magic, their trickery that they do, make these games look amazing on TV. And they're fun bite-sized experiences. You know, like Odyssey is not that long. Kirby and the Forgotten Kingdom is not that long. You know, and there's additional content even when you beat the main story. There's additional extended content after that. Then after you beat the extended content, there's the battle arena. And it's just like I paid $60 for Kirby Forgotten Kingdom, and there's just so much content in it, and it's super fun. It's not doing anything mind-blowing graphics wise, but it's just fun to play. And that's why I still love Nintendo to this day, because they make fun experiences. You know, even though Tears of the Kingdom kind of I kind of got burnt out with that game. The game, it has its moments. I just like when nowadays I like when games get to the point and they don't have too much filler content in between, because like Tears of the Kingdom, it's a great game, but I don't know. I've after playing like Elder Ring and stuff, I was just like, God, I don't want to explore another open world game, and have to like look for things to do within that world. I like when a game has like that kind of stage select element like Kirby does, or Mario games. Just you select the world, you just go there, you explore that world, and it's something I could do right before work. Oh, let me just jump in here, do a quick world or level, and then I'm head to work now. Sorry about smacking the mic. I'm gonna just do a quick world. Whereas like if I'm spending like 10 minutes in Tears of the Kingdom, I probably just walked 10 minutes, didn't find anything. I'm like, oh well, time to go to work. I think that's why I like games like that. Even Indivisible is a game that I played back then. I don't know if I streamed it on this channel, but that's a nice game. It's really good. I enjoyed my time with it, and I look forward to playing more games similar to that in perspective. I'm not interested in buying the Hollywood blockbuster title, the big game. Maybe I'll play it eventually, but I feel like there's more smaller titles that I enjoy more, and value my time, that I don't really need to buy these big games, these big overblown games, man. I could wait until they're on sale. Wait until they're on sale. I don't mind supporting the developer, but when you got games like Hi-Fi Rush, Cocoon, what else did I play last year? Bomb Rush Cyberpunks. You know, these games are, you know, Hell Divers too. You know, it's like $40. You know, these games that, oh, for the price of one $70 game, I could get two great games. I can get Hi-Fi Rush and I could get Hell Divers 2. May not be able to get into a server to play Hell Divers 2, but it's still a great game. Once you are in the game, it's a fun, amazing experience. But it's just like, I think this year, I'm definitely going to be looking at the indie developed games that are coming to Game Pass, you know, and because I just don't have too much time for everything else. Like I'm playing Persona, and you know it's a great game, but you know there's a lot of in between moments where you're like waiting to get to that one day that allows you to go up the tower and whatnot. And in the meantime, I'm like over there building relationships and stuff like that in between. I'm just like, man, I really want to go back to the tower and explore more levels. You know, it's like Catherine. Catherine was a game I freaking love. Like as far as a game where you're just going up levels and stuff, it was just very consistent. It was like, okay, you solve the puzzles, get to the top of the tower, beat the stage, go in the real world, talk to people, then go back and do more puzzle towers. It was just like a nice balance of, all right, we're doing this, then we're going back here, then we're going to do this again, then we're going back here. It was just like a nice, good flow of progression, you know, steady progression. Whereas like Persona 3 Reload, even though I'm loving it, I'm just like, man, I can't wait to get through all these classes and talking to my friends and building these relationships so I can get back to the tower and slay some demons, man. I can't wait. I want to explore 10 more floors. And I can go back and replay floors and level up and stuff, but I'm just like, oh, I want to see what else is up there. I want to see what other monsters are up there. I'm just like, I'm so intrigued. Like I'm just like anticipating the next demons to see that I could take down. You know, that's why, and that's what I love about certain games nowadays. They have a nice balance of like, okay, all right, you got some downtime here, and now we're gonna give you the good stuff. We're gonna give you the real good stuff. We got a little bit of downtime, and then we're getting back to the good stuff. Like more of that stuff. Don't get me wrong, Marvel Spider-Man 2 made my number 2 game of the year list for 2023. But man, announcing New Game Plus, and after, you know, it's been like what, a month or two or something. Has it come out yet? It's just like there's other games out right now. Just look at this year so far: Tekken, Prince of Persia, Helldivers. It's just a consistent flow of games just coming out. So yeah, I think companies need to just look at, you know, just tone it down a little bit. You know, be cost effective and see if you could grab an audience, man. See if you grab. I hear there's this game called Balatro that people have been playing. You're probably wondering, what is Balatro exactly? Yeah, but it's becoming, you know, very popular. And it's a little indie. I think it's an indie developed game, man. So yeah, yeah, man. Look at Soy Sauce Squad. I'm not going to say the actual word, but look at Soy Sauce Squad. You know, live service, has a bunch of characters that people don't want to play. I hear King Shark is fun. He's charming. You know, there's Harley. You know, I love Harley, and I got my poster with my Harley Quinn classic Batman animated cartoon Harley, and I would love to play that game. I just hear that it's just so generic and boring and repetitive. And I immediately, when I hear that, I'm like, oh, Anthem? Because I enjoyed Anthem, but I was like, God, this is repetitive. And it just sounds like another Anthem. And I'm just like, I'm going to check and see if there's anything else to buy. And that's what a lot of people are doing. And they're like, I hear the story's not that great. The character models look good. You know, the cutscene's awesome. Combat, you know. So yeah, even with an intellectual property like that, there's like and being backed by a company by like Rocksteady that makes phenomenal Batman games, still can sell it. Still could not sell it. Still can sell well. Can't keep people to play the game. It just fell off the map. It just fell off the map. So it is what it is. But yeah, that's what I just want to talk about that real quick, guys. Um, if you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the like, sub to the channel with the notifications bell turned on. That way you'll be notified whenever I go live or whenever I upload any new videos. Thank you for watching.